Natalia Parubocha. The next stop is. The next stop is Natalia Parubocha.
How does the hero of this year, 2022, looks like? A red blue suit and flying around Earth? No, not anymore. A business costume and driving to his or her working place, no matter the missile strikes. Yes, because it's Kyiv, baby. I'm only concerned about the best mean of transport in Ukraine, an express tram that gets to the very heart of Kyiv. Actually, it hasn't been hit yet because it's Berezhnoy, baby. Who dares to attack the old Kyiv ghetto, the most dangerous district of Kyiv and the most prestigious? That's how my elder brother says. Actually, my elder brother is an intellectual guy who pretends to be a chav. What's chav? I will show you. Just look at me. Hey, you, come here. Give me all of your money, otherwise I will take it myself. Guys, who dares to attack such people? Even Russians don't. My elder brother just pretends to be a chav, but at the same time, he's trying to teach me how to be a chavet. Chavet is a female chav. So my brother loves preaching me like that. Nataly, why do you think the best transport route in Kyiv goes to Berezhnoy, Kyiv's ghetto, not to the Kyiv center? Or maybe to test it here? No, wrong, Nataly. It's to mock the drivers. It's when you are inside of the tram and the tram is running fast and those drivers outside are stuck in a traffic jam. That is why life vibrates at Berezhnoy along the tram line, as well as life vibrates in Egypt along the Nile River. And our Berezhnoy crocodile farm is at Kalibris. For those who don't know, Kalibris is real dwells. Actually, in the daytime, it looks pretty good. It's not a Yuri tram station with a cinema, two malls, and two parks nearby. But at night, in the real Berezhnoy life, it sounds like that. Valera, the police, run away, they're gonna catch us! Once my brother surprised me. Nataly, do you know that our motherland Berezhnoy is a historical place? Have you ever heard about the Berezhnoy meteorite? I saw it falling in our backyard. Believe me. When I grew up, it appeared to be just our neighbor Valera. No, not the meteorite. I'll explain. Our neighbor Valera took a bottle of vodka and had hidden it inside of the night table by the sofa to drink it later. His wife, a grim Berezhnoy chavet Raisa, had found that bottle of vodka and threw it out of the window together with the night table. Later, Raisas had sold out almost all the furniture they had, so there was nowhere to hide vodka for Valera, and she promised Valera that he was going to be the next meteorite. I must always stick to what my brother taught me. Once he told me, Nataly, never ever walk under the windows in our backyard. It's dangerous. And I disobeyed. I went there to look for all those amazing stuff our neighbors throw out of windows because it's Berezhnoy. So there were a lot of amazing stuff. Playboy pictures, used lipsticks I can use after my neighbors, a night table, of course. And suddenly from above, no, not Valera meteorite. sour stinky soup poured down on my hat. Oh, what a shame for me, and what a joy for passengers of a tram that was running by. However, I found my Bolshevik life pretty happy until we moved to Troyeshchina. New Kiev's ghetto. Oh, there were the most unforgettable years of my teenager's life. First cigarettes I hid from my mom. First kisses at Manhattan. Can't you believe Troyeshchina has its own Manhattan? But they didn't have their own decent tram line. It was so hard for me to get asleep without tram running sound I used to, like, and without Borshchevka, Calibri's nightlife with all those sounds like, wee-hoo, Valera, the police. I was missing my brother, my neighbor Valera, his wife Raisa, and Meteorite so much. I saw all of them in dreams, in nightmares, drowning in the sour soup. Actually, not really good sign. So we moved to another district of Kiev, and then to another decent district of Kiev, and I traveled a lot. I saw beautiful palaces and dirty zero-star hotels with cockroaches. I met amazing people and rude chavs. I enjoyed great and very comfortable trams and jumping cycle rickshaws. And suddenly I realized that my intellectual brother was just trying to survive in our ghetto. And I didn't forget his preaching. So once, when in the French ghetto, local chav stepped on my foot, I pushed him and roared, "Hey, you, take a tram and save your ass."
Well done, Ohor, Ohor, Ohor.
Christopher, it has come to our attention that, or Krzysztof, I'm sorry, that you haven't submitted the title of your speech. Please do this right now in the chat. Either me, host, or just in a chat for everyone. Wonderful, I got your title. Good luck.
1 minute of silence is over. Krzysztof Indycki, the toaster. The toaster, Krzysztof Indycki. And please switch on the camera.
Fellow Toastmasters, there are two types of people. Those who love toast, the roast, and those who hate it. Okay, there are two more. Those who love to do the toast and hate to be toasted. Okay, and maybe another two that in reverse. But let's forget the math for a moment. I like it till the end of my high school. However, at the very first year of University of Technology, it betrayed me. It changed to analysis and algebra. Nightmare. So I gave my heart to the binary 10111011 IT. Okay, let's go back to the roast, shall we? In the old Toastmasters educational system, I had one book, advanced book, special occasion speeches. I delivered the first speech, the second one, and I saw the third one. The roast. Oh my God. Do you know what is the biggest problem with the roast? To find the victim who will still want to talk to you after the roast, will not leave the club, and will not put you on the people to kill list. However, a wise man said, If the hunter is ready, the victim will reveal itself. Or maybe it was about mentor and mentee. Nevertheless, my victim revealed during the Toastmasters club weekend offsite party with campfire. I will share no details because what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. Mirek. First, I will give you some background about Mirek to explain my choice. In a matter of fact, it's a part of the roast. Mirek and I work for warning. Product placement is forbidden. Okay, we are working in the company where environment, health and safety is on a very high level. Every employee has to wear shoes that will handle 1,000 kilograms of weight and wear a safety glass every time, everywhere, except you know where, the canteen. If you break one of 7 cardinal rules intentionally, you can lose your job at the very same day. And Mirek obey all of the rules 8 hours a day. However, when he left the company, he became a totally different man, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. After the fire camp, Mirek, I think the most drunk of all of us, insisted that he will carry the 2 most dangerous things we had there. Sharp as a saber-toothed tiger's teeth, fire fog, and an axe. During the going back from this camp, he stabbed Toastmasters a few times in their butts, and I decided to close my eyes not to see how he was using his usual farewell guest. I don't know if you're familiar with the roaster procedure. The roasted person has a right to riposte in front of the audience. So Mirek did. He said, "Do you think I was drunk that day? I wasn't. Yet." I tell you what happened next. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, so the only place where it's able to buy an alcohol was a gas station. So I entered there. They look at me, I look at them, and then I look at myself. Slowly as a lazy sloth, I put aside it and I approached to the serve desk. "May I have a 250 milliliter bottle of vodka, please?" That's how my first and only roast looked like. Mirek missed next 4 Toastmasters meetings. However, we are still friends. Considering the type of people I told you at the beginning, my mentee couldn't wait to pass her competent communicator path to get straight to the special occasion speeches and project number 3 to roast me. However, it's a totally different story. And please remember, you can do a roast, you can be roasted, but don't you dare become a toaster. Mrs. Contest Chair?
That's for our judges. Yanovytska. Maria Yanovska, coming out. Maria Yanovytska. Coming out, Maria Yanovytska. Round of applause.
Hi, everyone. The topic I'm going to talk about today is very stigmatized, and usually people now don't talk about such things, but I will. My mom is Russian, but actually it would be unfair to say it in that way because, you know, now nobody in Ukraine calls Russians Russians. So I would define it as my mom comes from the Orc family. And due to the fact that she was born in Russia, she has a lot of unforgettable moments regarding her childhood. For example, when the mom of my mom decided to hire a nanny for her, and this nanny worked for some time, then it turned out that my mom learned by heart a lot of prison songs, and afterwards, the mom of her had to fire this nanny. But afterwards, the best thing happened to my mom, the best thing that can happen to a person who lives in Russia. She moved to Ukraine. She moved to nice city Lviv to her grandmother, and everything in this story looks absolutely natural until I started to ask myself, what the hell my grandmother was doing in Lviv, because she was not born there. Okay, I will tell you. So she came to Lviv in 1941 to teach Russian language. But you know, I'm even thankful to my grandmother for this attempt of Lviv Russification, because I'm thinking sometimes for a second, what could happen to me if my mom never relocated to Lviv? I could, for example, sit somewhere now in Rostov and choose the color of new Lada Kalina instead of my husband. Or, for example, be a teacher in kindergarten and make some pretty nice military suits so my cool children could cosplay soldiers on the Victory Day. Moreover, you know, I think my mom belongs to so-called good Russians. Yeah, I know what you're going to tell me. Maria, come on, tell us about good Russians. I will. So there are only two criteria by which Russian could belong to a good one. The first one is well established. You all know about that. So that Russian, absolutely, yeah. So that Russian is a good one. Everything is very simple. But what about the second one? Who can help me with that? Any ideas? No?
Russian became Ukrainian
Mhm.
with a spy.
I have better idea. Okay, so I think second criteria that really works. If Russian donates on Ukrainian armed forces, I believe he's a good one. Okay, that's why I think my mom belongs to them. In the family of my husband, everything went more smoothly until one moment when my husband's brother was captured by an orc Moscow woman called Natasha. And they lived for a long time over the ocean, but and at the beginning of the war, when I was relocating, everybody asked me, why didn't you move to husband's brother? He has big house, it's comfortable. I will explain to you. So he lives with Natasha, yeah. And Natasha, she's not dead, and she does not donate on Ukrainian armed forces, okay? Moreover, she is the person who personally paid her own money to buy ticket in New York on the concert of Philipp Kirkorov. Yes, Because of that, I've got acknowledged that Philip Kirkorov is still alive. Very useful information, thank you. But now this existential question, how can you live under the one roof with person who buys such tickets? I know you are sitting here and thinking, wow, Maria, cool relatives you have. I will tell you that is not the bottom. A friend of mine who is a psychiatrist and works not far from here in the hospital, she told me a story that happened recently. Some relatives just brought a man and left him in front of the door at her hospital. Do you know what he was doing? Imagine, in September 2022, in the center of Kiev, this man was yelling on the streets, Putin is our president. Yeah, he was treated a little bit. Next day, it turned out that he was just overdosed with mushrooms. But I'm thinking sometimes about that. I'm thinking if you would try to feed with mushrooms, Natasha, what else could we hear? The idea of the story is very simple. If you're lucky to be born in Ukraine, that does not rid you from responsibility to donate on Ukrainian armed forces. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot. And we have 1 minute of silence for our judges.
Have you watched the Star Wars movie? If yes, you have definitely heard of the Jedi. And you probably think the Jedi look like this. If yes, you are wrong. In real life, the Jedi look like this. Yes, this boy's name is Jedi, or simply Jadik. And recently, I had my own Star Wars with him. Actually, I have a female friend called Tanya, and this is her dog. Once Tanya mentioned that she was going on a trip and had no one to leave the dog with. So I go, hey, leave him with me, he's so cute. Oh, but will you be able to? You have to walk him 3 times a day and wash his little paws afterwards. It's great, I'll gladly do this. So here comes the day of Tanya's departure. I'm waiting for the little fellow, but I forgot that Tanya was Herbalife. And when a girl from network marketing offers you something, you've got to be careful. The first surprise was that Jadik has problems with his kidneys. So he can't eat normal food, which he likes. He only should eat special dog food, which he doesn't like. And we went for a walk for the first time. He at once rushed to the rubbish containers. Maybe he sensed something tasty there, but there was nothing tasty. Only local homeless people who went, oh, Georgie. Luckily, I took him away in time because I don't know who would eat whom there. In addition to special nutrition, also you have to give him a pill 3 times a day. Have you ever given a pill to a dog, especially a small dog, like this? Tanya once showed me, it looked easy. With a light touch of her little hand, she stuck 2 fingers into his mouth, opened it, and just threw the pill there. But when I tried to do this, it was a disaster. Every time he just spit it out. And after sequential attempts, started growling at me. I was in despair. I had 2 options. Either this dog dies because he doesn't get his medicine, or he just bites my fingers off. Luckily, I found the solution. I grinded the pill into powder and gave it to him. He ate it. Yes, I did. Also, at the very first walk, I found out why his name was actually Jedi. He barked at big dogs. A dog like this. When he saw a big dog, he at once started growling and barking at it. And while I was desperately remembering martial art techniques and thinking how to apply them to the big dog, and also thinking, what should I tell Tanya if Jadik is eaten alive? The big dog just happened to be smarter and went away. In general, walking a dog happened to be a whole new world for me. For example, I found out how dog owners communicate between themselves. Once we met a doggy and her old lady who goes, "Oh, guys, I see you've got worms." I at once specified, who has worms? Do you mean me, him, or both of us? Another vivid reaction was from my neighbors. I have a lady, a bit like this, who lives next door with her husband and two little kids screaming all the time. Yes, the husband too. And I meet this lady in the elevator. I'm with the doggy, holding him. And she says, did you get yourself a dog because you don't want to have children? What should I answer? I'm learning to be a father. Finally, we got home and it was time to sleep. When I turned off the lights, Jadik, without any sentiment, jumped on the bed and got under my blanket. It's okay, but I was afraid to fall asleep because I started to remember the scary stories Tanya told me, his owner, that Jadik had raped all her teddy bears. My another concern was, isn't the dog going to suffocate there under the blanket? He didn't, but still I didn't sleep normally because whole night it was like this. Shuk, 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 shuk. Boom. Tok, 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 tok. Boom. Shuk, 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 shuk. Anyway, after successfully surviving for several days, I decided to relax a little bit and go on a date. So I wrote one girl and invited her to come to my place and play with Jadik. Just think, I wanted to use one girl's dog to seduce another girl. What kind of person I am? It's terrible. But the girl didn't want to go to my place. She only agreed to walk at the park. Okay, I went there and it was like, oh, he's so cute. Come here, you my little rat. Timur, you know, I'll keep him. Can you please tell Tanya you lost him? Then she put him under her coat with only his head sticking out, and we walked like this for 40 minutes. In general, Jadik missed his owner, Tanya, of course. Once at a walk, he led me directly to the door of her house and looked at me with inquiry like, are we going in or what? You know, my father has four dogs, and he says a dog is a unique animal because it will do anything to be liked by a human and will wait for his human for however long. So when Tanya finally got back, we had a dramatic scene called Hatiko, happy ending. And a bit later, she also sent me this picture, which made me happy, but a bit jealous, because this little bastard never smiled like this with me. Still, I think I was a pretty good father for him. At least I tried to over these several days, which I will remember forever. Madam Toastmaster.
Let me mute the microphone. Thank you, Timur. And now we have 2 minutes of silence for our judges. And also, after 2 minutes of silence, we will be having the voting for the People's Choice Award. The speaker you like it the most, you have these papers on the tables, and also we will be instructing separately our online participants, our online members, to vote for the speaker they like the most. So, 2 minutes of silence is over. You have these ballots, these papers on the table. Please forward to the speakers you like the most. And the counters and chief judge will collect all them and will count them for now. Yes, I will be. Welcome.